Biology 4903, Fall 2020. Cost of Transportation. The Tale of Trigger, a presentation by Joe's Geo. This is Trigger. He's a movie star. He starred in the 1945 movie Don't Fence Me In and the 1949 movie The Golden Stallion. He's famous for his live performances and close companionship to his handler and actor friend, Roy Rogers. Trigger is more than just an actor. He's a racehorse, a philanthropist, and known to visit sick children in the hospital when he wasn't working. What is Trigger's cost of transportation? Cost of transportation can be described as the metabolic energy needed to transport unit of mass of animal unit distance. To simplify, all organisms that move or run do that using energy they gain from nourishment. This energy used in movement is the main source of power that makes motion possible. The pathway through which motion occurs is complicated and involves multiple stages. This includes elements such as the sodium-potassium chains that help signal muscle movement, respiration caused as the organism's need for oxygen increases, all the way to the ATP in your body that comes from your food to make your muscles contract. This is followed by a slew of elements that make it possible for the organism to take that stride. The sum of all these costs to make organic motion possible is the cost of transportation. How does Trigger's cost of transportation differ from that of Roy Rogers' car? As Trigger is an organic being, ATP is the gasoline that runs his body. Plants use photosynthesis to create ATP. Those plants get eaten by Trigger and he gets juiced up for his action-packed acting sessions. Horses generally eat 12 to 15 pounds of hay and can run up to 31 miles per day with a rider. Comparatively, Roy Rogers' car makes use of gasoline to move. Combustibles move pistons that create motion in cars. Similarly, steam engines make use of coal to create steam that move pistons. The kinetic energy from the piston's motion goes through a series of motion transfer and is used to turn the wheels of these machines. How could you find Trigger's cost of transportation empirically? Horses are great at running and jumping that is far superior to animals of similar size because of its high maximal aerobic capacity, large intramuscular store of energy substrates, the ability to increase oxygen carrying capacity of blood, efficiency of gait, and thermoregulation. Studies on mammals show that total energetic cost of transportation per unit distance is a constant that is independent of speed. However, it falls with increasing body weight. There are many ways to find the empirical cost of transportation in horses. However, many researchers monitor the heart rate of horses to come up with a numerical value. VO2 or oxygen consumption is used to calculate energy expenditure. Heart rate and oxygen consumption is well documented to be linearly related to submaximal work effort or locomotory speed in horses. The mass-specific rate of oxygen consumption can be graphed against the velocity of the animal. The slope of the graph would be the indicator of cost of transportation. What is efficiency, and what does it have to do with Trigger? Trigger can run and trot at different speeds. In his acting career, he might have to put up a performance and run as fast as he could. However, if he was on a ride on the countryside with his best friend Roy Rogers, Trigger wouldn't do that. He would maintain a pace that could potentially make him go as far as possible before getting tired out. This is efficiency. In empirical terms, it would be the smallest total cost of transport for the highest distance. A myriad of factors affect efficiency, including gait, mass, metabolics, weather, etc. How does Trigger compare to Bullet? Bullet is Roy Rogers' dog who had his own show. He acted as Bullet the Wonder Dog in the Roy Rogers Show from 1951 to 1957. In the show, Bullet could always keep up with Trigger, but does that mean they both have the same cost of transportation value? No, it just wouldn't make sense. In mammals, total energetic cost of transportation per unit distance is a constant that is independent of speed. However, it decreases with mass. So, the heavier the mammal, more ATP is used in its motion. Does cost of transportation change as Trigger walks, trots, or gallops? Trigger is a horse, so we can look at some horse research to answer this. Hoyt and Taylor trained 3 different horses to be able to walk, trot, or gallop on command. The O2 consumption increased curvilinearly during walking and trotting, and data was unclear when it came to galloping. Whenever the horses were made to run at a higher gait than in which they would normally run, their O2 consumption was much higher. On the shown graph, it was during the intersection that the horses would change gait to be efficient, almost like a gear shifting mechanism in a car or motorcycle. The faster gait was more efficient when compared to the slower gait at the intersections. The rate of oxygen consumption was, however, linear when the horse increased its running speed. Regardless, the most efficient gait is intrinsic for Trigger, so he would only really gait at a faster speed for cinematic purposes. This way, all horses know intrinsically what speed or gait they should run at to increase their efficiency. Can you predict the cost of transportation for Trigger just from his size or mass? In general, the mass of an animal and energy of cost of transportation has a linear relationship. However, some factors make a few exceptions. Anatomy of smaller animals, such as whether they have a crouched or erect limb, change their efficiency.